Hey YouTube family, how's it going? This is LK talking to you from Vandalia, Ohio on October 16, 2019. This week's video is going to be simple. This video goes out to all the people who want to become a truck driver. I have videos out already on the next level up stuff on about getting your own authority, and all these other things, but let's break it down to where we all started from. Deciding whether or not you actually want to become a truck driver. Now, why is this video so important? Well, simple. When you decide that you want to become a truck driver, your life will change. Truck driving is one of those careers where it's not just a career, it's a lifestyle. You will literally spend majority of your time in thinking or worrying about a truck. That's just kind of what it is. Even from a company driver standpoint, even once you park your truck for the weekend or whatever you do, you're still going to have it in the back of your mind. Even down to anything that you might need for your truck as far as, cleaning supplies, linen, stuff like that. Trucking is a lifestyle. That's all it breaks down to. So if you're contemplating about getting your CDL, you need to go ahead and actually take some time and evaluate yourself to see if this is the correct career field for you. Now, you might not see truck driving as a career. You just see it as something temporary to elevate you to the place where you want to be because you hear the money's good, it's low expense to do. It doesn't take much training to do it, and there's people out there that's willing to pay you to do it. But still, after all of that, you still have to look, will you actually be happy and actually able to do the job that you're signing up to do? So the very first thing before you even think about going to get your CDL or do anything else, the very first thing that I would recommend is, one, go on a ride along. Find somebody who you know enough and go ride with them. I would suggest go out with them for 1 week, Monday through Friday. So you'll get the whole experience of sleeping in the truck. You'll get the experience of having to play with these logbooks. You'll get the full experience of dealing with these shippers and dealing with dispatchers and dealing with brokers and all this other bullshit stuff. You'll get that experience. So before you even think about actually getting your CDL, go for a ride along. Find somebody and just ride along with them. Because there's so many truck drivers out here. Everybody knows at least 3 of them. Everybody knows at least 3 truck drivers. So that'll be number 1. Go do a ride along. Then after you go do this ride along, go drive for yourself. Go drive by yourself. If you want to, what I would suggest, if you're really contemplating this, you could do 1 or 2 things. You could get in your car and go drive 3 hours out somewhere and 3 hours back. So for those people that's in Chicago, drive to Indianapolis and drive back. Or drive to Champaign and drive back. Or drive to Springfield and drive back. Do that 1 trip without stopping, and then that'll be a good judge on if you can handle truck driving. Now, why go on this test drive? Why waste this money to go on this test drive? Well, for $30 in gas and 1 day, take a Saturday and spend $30 in gas, do this trip to see, can you even handle driving long distances? Because typically, even if you are a local driver that's home every day, you're going to drive 3 hours out somewhere. 3 hours is nothing to a truck driver. So see if you can handle just going 3 hours out and 3 hours back. That's it. And then even if you're over the road person, you'll drive between 6 and 7 hours nonstop. So if you go there and back without stopping, see how you feel. See if it's something that you can handle. And if you are tired, exhausted, and you can't keep your eyes open, before you go wasting your energy and time and getting your CDL, practice on staying awake behind the wheel. Let's start there. Just worry about staying awake behind the wheel. Again, for those of us that live in Chicago, if you fall asleep while driving from out south to out west to 290, then
you probably should not be a truck driver right now. Practice on staying awake first. Because, like I said, you'll drive anywhere between 3 to 6 hours non-stop, and then that'll be your normal daily routine. That's it. Like, even now, my shortest runs, I drive at least 3 hours non-stop. So now that you have went on this ride along, you say, okay, I can see myself doing this. Then you go out and drive on your own. You say, yeah, I can handle driving on my own. The third thing now is to check your family situation. Check your home life. See if truck driving is going to give you what you need for your house. Because we work these jobs, and sometimes we get confused about with our careers, or even some people with our jobs. We get confused, and sometimes it slips our mind that we're working these jobs to provide something better for our family. We don't have our families to provide something better for our job. So, see if it is the right time to go and become a truck driver. Because if you are over the road, which a lot of people with no experience will probably start off over the road. If you start off over the road, you're not going to be home. Especially if you go with like one of these big companies like Warner, US Express, Swift, JB Hunt. You're not going to be home. You will be gone for 2 or 3 months. And if you got kids at home, or you got a wife at home, it might not be the best time to do that right now. You know, yeah, I understand that some people are saying, you know, suck it up, I'll just do it now because it'll pay off later. But sometimes we got to worry about the now. See if your home life can handle it right now. So even to the point where give it a trial run. If you have a spouse and you got kids, see if your spouse can handle the day-to-day tasks. Give it a week. See how that other person feels after a week of handling everything by themselves. And then have that conversation with them. Because at the end of the day, the only thing that's going to keep your sanity when you're on this road is having a spouse. Your spouse or somebody that actually gives a crap about you, that's willing to sit down and talk to you, you know, because you're going to get bored. You're going to have these mental moments where you're kind of just thinking about things that's happened in the past. You need support. Being out here is not easy. You're going to need the support. So that'll be the third thing. Check your family, check your home life, and see if it's the right time. Because if you go to spend all this money and all this time and effort in getting your CDL and everything like that, and then your home is messed up, then what was the purpose of even going out on the road? You just wasted all your time because the thing that you're trying to prevent, you just caused. So check your home life before you waste your time to get your permit. All these things that I'm saying right now is before you even get your permit. So now you've established that not only can you see yourself being in a truck for a long period of time, you've seen if you can even handle driving a far distance. And you checked your home life and everything like that is going to be okay. Now you're ready to start actually putting your steps towards getting your CDL. Now, the very first thing that a lot of people think about when they hear about getting their CDL and stuff like that is the money. They just hear truck drivers get paid anywhere between $900 to $1,200 a week. You know, that's what everybody's thinking. Well, before you get to that point, you need to plan. Figure out what you want to do in the trucking industry, because there's so many different things you could do. You could do dry van over the road, dry van local. You could do containers. You could do tanker local, tanker over the road. You could do oil fields. You could do thousands of things, flatbeds, Conestogas. There's so many different things you can do with a Class A CDL with air brake endorsement. So many different things. So pinpoint what you want to do. And then once you pinpoint what you want to do, figure a path to it. So if you don't care and you just want an easy job, go dry van. Now, if you go dry van, you still got choices. How are you going to get your CDL? Are you going to obtain it by yourself? Or are you going to go to a big company? Well, here's something to consider. If you go to a big company, this is what they do. They get you, they sign you up, ship you to a hotel that they pay for. They send you through truck driving. They send you through truck driving school for free. And then once you graduate that school, get your CDL, they put you in a truck with a trainer. You have to have 200 driving hours with that trainer before they release you on your own. So, and then after that, when you first initially start the truck driving school, they make you sign a contract. I think contracts, because like I said, I've never been with a big company, but from me talking to other people and people that I know personally, you sign a contract for about a year. But for that very first year, you're making next to nothing. When I say next to nothing, I mean nothing. Like these guys that I know, I'm not going to say the company, but it was a big company that offers driver's training. They would go out and they'll be gone for 2 months at a time. 2 months out, 1 week back home. And they would make about between $400 and $500 a week, depending on how much they ran, depending on how many miles they had. But you have to think it makes sense because they pay for you to go through truck driving school. So the way that they're making their money back is by paying you this cheap amount, and then that extra money that they're saving, is just cycling back, to pay off your schooling. And that's normally the reason why they make you sign that contract from the get-go, is so to make sure that they can get their money back. So you have to be prepared. If you go through a big company, be prepared to be broke. Like I was even watching one video on YouTube about it's this guy that documents his life working for Swift, and he was saying that once he got out of driving school, he graduated, got a CDL. He had like 2 weeks where he did not get paid because he did not. They didn't have nobody to put him in a truck with. So he was saying that if you go that route, make sure you have money saved up, because there might be times where you're not getting paid, and then on top of not getting paid, you got to think you're expecting this lavish lifestyle. Well, not lavish lifestyle. You're expecting these big checks, and we all get to that point where we expecting a big check. We already spending it in our heads before we even get it in our account. But when you very first start working for a big company after you went through their truck driving school, you're not going to make nothing. $500 a week is nothing. Between $400 and $500 a week is nothing, especially if you're out on the road and you got family back home. It ain't nothing. So you got to be prepared for that. Or you can go another route and pay for yourself to go through truck driving school. You go through their truck driving school, get your CDL in a month. You can start working with a big company, but when you start working for that big company again, now it's the thing of they're not really going to pay you because you have no experience. They're still going to put you with a trainer for 200 hours, and then charge you this, pay you this little bit of amount. So when I say little bit of amount, average truck driver mixes anywhere between 45 and 50 cents a mile. New drivers that go to big companies typically start off at 35 and 40 cents. So you got to think per mile. You drive a mile in 1 minute. So every minute that you drive, you're going to be making this however many cents a mile. So you have to kind of consider that when you first start off, and if you go to a big company, you're probably not going to be making that much. And then another route that you could take to actually start getting your CDL is go the hard route. That's the route that I went. I went up there, got my permit, found somebody that would let me use their truck to practice, took the test in that truck, got my CDL. I was completely self-taught. So you can go that route too. If you are self-taught, that is the cheapest route. Truck driving school, I think, ranges between $35,000 and $4,000. The big companies will pay for you everything, will pay all your expenses, but then they start you off at a cheap rate. And then if you do it by yourself, you can, the payment is $50. I think between $50 and $150, depending on where you live, to get your CDL. You pay that $100, $150. That $50 to $150, get your CDL, and then you go work for a small company, and then they pay you like market rate. So those are your three options to get there. Those are just three paths, but each path starts off with getting your permit. So that's going to bring up the fourth step, is get your permit. So you planned out, so you did your ride along, you drove by yourself, you checked your home life, you found the path that you kind of want to take, and now to initiate the path that you want to take, now you got to get your permit. Now there's a million things out there to help you study for your permit and everything like that. But at the end of the day, it comes down to your study habits and your actual desire to get your CDL. You can go to most states. I know Illinois and Indiana have it, but most states you can just go into your local DMV or BMV and get a CDL book. You pick up that book, you read it front to back, believe in it like the Bible, understand everything that you're reading, study it, and then you have to go take a test. If you're going to become a truck driver, you're going to have to take 3 written tests. You're going to have to take the general knowledge test, the combinations test, air brakes test. General knowledge is just signs and stuff and basic things that kind of are general to the whole commercial vehicle idea. Combinations is, how to hook up airlines, how to make sure your trailer is coupled, all that stuff. Then the air brake test is just your air brake system. How do your brakes work? So once you pass those 3 tests, then you'll be assigned a permit. When you get that permit, that allows you to drive a truck with a licensed CDL holder in the passenger seat. So that's how you can, either path that you take, any of the 3 paths that you chose, that's how you started off. You got to get your permit. If you don't get your permit, there's no truck driving school for you. And even if they do allow you into the truck driving school, you're going to end up wasting more time and spending more money, because now they're going to be teaching you how, they're going to be helping you pass the permit test, when you could just walk in there, spend maybe a week of study, walk in there, get your permit, and then take it to the school, and then boom, you already working on the truck stuff already. And so after you have gotten your permit, you got to where you wanted to go, you took the path that you chose, now you got your CDL. Now this is the time where you got to soak in as much as you can, especially when you're new. Take your time and slow down. Absorb all the information, because everybody over there is going to have an opinion. Everybody over there is going to have an opinion. Everybody's going to have something to say. Take in all the advice that you can and apply it to yourself and things that you already know. All advice is not good advice, but all bad advice is not bad advice either. You have to really just take what people are telling you and think about it. Harp on it, think about it, and see if it makes sense for you to do. And that's just pretty much it. What I'm gonna do, so this whole video was pretty much on how to get your CDL and the steps you should take before to obtain it. If you want, leave questions in the comments. I'll respond to them as I see them. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to make a sequel to this video, telling you the benefits of becoming a truck driver. So I explained in this video the steps of becoming a truck driver, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do 2 videos this week, and in my next video I'm gonna explain to you the benefits of becoming a truck driver. So again, like always, I love you. If you haven't heard it today, I love you. I have great faith that you guys are going to achieve great things today and forevermore. Please do me a favor, like, subscribe, hit the bell button, hit the bell, ring the bell, so that way you know whenever I'm making more videos, you'll get the alert, and then you can come and watch them. Let me know in the comments if you already have your CDL. Explain some of the steps and hardships that you took, and if you're planning on getting your CDL, go ahead and ask questions. I'll reply to questions, and hopefully other people that's watching my videos will respond to questions to help you out and get you on the right path. So this is LK signing off for now. See you next time.